Hello and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. This is Nick speaking, and today we're going to be looking at a little flash game by the name of Amorphous Plus by Innocuous Games. So, as you probably know, I don't do a lot of flash games on this, and for good reason. A lot of them are really bad. Granted, there are a lot of really good ones too, but sometimes they're a little bit more trouble to deal with recording and stuff than they're worth. This one in particular is one of my favorites from a few years back, and I definitely wanted to share it with you. This one just particularly addictive, and although it's a little bit crude on the graphical front, it gets the job done in most other respects. And I've just been having so much freaking difficulty recording a bunch of stuff that I just wanted to do something that was fun for me. So, hopefully you can appreciate that. We're gonna start with the most basics, and this is a fresh game. I have no save on this, so you'll see everything unlocking as it goes. So the way this works is you actually pick a size of a blob nest that you want to fight, and we'll start out on the easiest. And we just want to stay alive. We've got our little guy here with our giant buster sword. Oh look, I already got an achievement. And you just want to keep smacking these guys until all of them are dead, and you can see the counter down on the bottom. This looks pretty simple, right? I mean, this is kind of like the same deal, like the way Geometry Wars progresses. You start out with very simple movement patterns and not much going on, and things eventually cascade to become more and more difficult, and I believe you can get combos if you splatter them together, yeah. So you want to actually try and group them into chunks, if possible. It's not always possible, but you do what you can. And as this progresses, you will make all kinds of progress. There's our first new one. Those guys will zoom at you, and they have spikes, as you can see. And the general amount of green guys is increasing. And you'll see I'm getting more and more achievements. This game is very generous with the achievements, but since I'm just starting also, that's partially why. And we've got a score down on the bottom there that's going to accumulate, and I believe there's leaderboards and all that good stuff too. And then we've got a purple blob to deal with. That one splits into multiple smaller blobs. And I believe you can chase them. Oops, crap, I'm dead. Yeah, that's all you get. So let's go back at it, try again. You get a different backdrop to deal with. And this is a small nest of 200. As you get better and better at this, you'll want to challenge yourself to longer games, which will result in more difficult enemies. And of course you can practice. There is a practice mode that will let you mess around with the types of blobs that you've unlocked. There's quite a diverse number of them. I don't remember how many there are, but there's a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot they congeal and coalesce into a bigger blob if you leave them alone after a while. So not only do we have to be focusing on offensively clearing the screen, we also have to defensively be watching out for threats coming from different angles and try to position ourselves in ways that make sense. Actually reminds me a little bit of the Binding of Isaac in that respect. And since at first you won't know exactly what all the different types of blobs are capable of, so you kind of have to learn as you play, which is why a lot of this involves playing it multiple times. Oh right, they shoot at you too, and that makes you slower. The blobs can kill each other. That one just turned into a new type of blob, and it ate me. You know, I was doing pretty good there for a moment. There's a menu where you can check out all the different types of blobs you've unlocked, keep track of all your stats and such. I forgot the green ones actually don't kill you if they run into you, they actually just bounce right off of you. So at first it's a fairly benign experience. There's not much you can do to die until the blue and purple ones start showing up, or until the green ones start merging. Although in a way it is still dangerous once you have combinations, because the green ones smacking into you put you in danger for just a few moments while you're recoiling. It's funny, it's such a simple game, but premises like this can often be very addictive. I mean, graphically watching this is probably pretty tedious. It's not the most pleasing to the eye game in the world. But games don't always have to be about that. There's actually one game that I would really like to have seen on iOS. I think this would be fairly fun to mess around with as far as like touchscreen compatibility. Not sure exactly how it would work. I guess you would steer your character with like an analog stick or something on the corner and then tap the screen to swing. That could probably work. Nice soothing jazz playing in the background. And I hate to admit it, but oh man, I have to clear one of these, come on. But part of the appeal to me is the constant reinforcement of, like, you've unlocked this, you've unlocked that, and then you can keep progressing forward. And strategically trying to better your gameplay every time. I have to admit, the strategy so far has been pretty basic. You know, avoid stuff, hit stuff. But if I can get into some of the higher levels of play here, you'll see that it gets a little bit more complicated. Glooples. Kind of an obnoxious name for them, but you can just call them slimes. And of course you're always looking out for possible combos if you can bounce a bunch off of each other. Alright, I guess that was an achievement for killing a certain amount. I believe some of the achievements come as medals. We'll check out the screen in a while, and the medals I think can upgrade from like bronze, silver, gold. Blue one should be entering the purple phase soon. When you have a really good run at this, it's strangely gratifying, I have to say. No! Damn it! Why am I so bad at this? I used to be amazing at this. Alright, let's go back to the menu. Let's check out... That's what we've unlocked so far. Doesn't look like much, but once you start getting them all coming at you from different angles at the same time, it can get a little overwhelming. There's our rewards. Like I said, yeah, you do get bronze, silver, gold, maybe beyond. Multipliers, rewards, what's this? Novice for reaching a score of 100 in any mode. Playing the game for 5 minutes, right, there's a whole bunch for just how long you've played it. Oh, right, and I forgot about this part. After a point, you actually will unlock awards. And you can buy stuff to make the game a little bit more interesting. And I don't remember what any of those things are. I don't have any keys to unlock anything. And the game's nice enough to give you some tips. And I believe more tips unlock as you progress. And then we've got the Bounty Run, which is another mode that lets you dive into an endless gloopal nest to collect the highest bounty score possible. The longer you last, the more gloppals or gloopals will join the battle. I prefer mastering the multiple nests before we get into that. I can't handle 200 of them, let alone an endless nest. I'm telling you, like, games are so simple sometimes, but just having that little bits of reinforcement, stuff to unlock, things to find and progress through, you can stretch a pretty simple premise into something that's way more addictive than perhaps it should be. I mean, this is essentially just a browser game, but it's one that I've spent hours playing. And I don't do that very often. I'm not the type that goes on like Facebook or, you know, whatever, and it just spends an hour playing Bejeweled Blitz or something. Although I am a fan of Bejeweled in general. I do play the occasional casual game. I like things that are usually a little more challenging. But there is always a place and time for just sort of relaxing and doing something rather mindless. Of course, that's where Diablo can come in, but that's sort of a fusion of both. Oh, we've got yellow ones. What do those do? Oh, right, they leave a yellow smear when you kill them, and that does something to me. I think it makes me slow. And then there's like some black ones that are gonna leave oil smears. Oh, damn it. Got too close. I wish I could speed up my attack a little bit. Let's try another small one. I don't remember this background. The beginning is always spent on just trying to get as many combos as you can, just get them grouped together if possible. Thankfully your guy's pretty responsive when you steer him, and as long as you understand like the distance, like you have to wait a little bit from the animation before you can move again, and you have to sort of build that into your plan of how you navigate the screen. So swipe, wait, swipe, wait, swipe, wait, and then you gotta just get the groove of it. I mean, there is a feeling of like a little bit of a timing necessary. And then especially when you have a critical move that you need to not botch, you need to know when not to attack. So you'll be able to navigate, and then eventually defensively position yourself for a more useful attack. Those blue ones are dangerous. I kind of like, too, that it's only, like, one-hit kills. Ah. Get out of here. If I chase them off the screen, a lot of the times they'll just despawn, which is good for me. Get out of here! That was dangerous. Oh crap, we've got both. Okay, now we're starting to get into dangerous territory. We've got a lot of different things all mixing. Gotta stay vigilant. Watch out, watch out! Ah, damn it! Alright, well... I think you get the idea. Amorphous Plus, check it out. It's a free download. It's a lot of fun. It's way more addictive than it should be. But I had a good time with it. Hopefully somebody out there will enjoy it as well. So thank you for watching another episode of Indie Impressions. Remember to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/IndieImpressions, where I post every night's video and you can leave comments. I also have a Twitter, at RockLeeSmile or at Indie Impression, my personal and the one for the show. And you can reach me there anytime with any suggestions you may have for new games you'd like me to cover. So thanks again for watching. I will see you tomorrow with another episode.